What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer. And it keeps us going. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, wherever Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of course. It's all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Mercury Day. It's Wednesday. You know, Mercury's retrograde, but it's fine. We're just reflecting right now, Cancer. And you know what? The moon is too, because she's going void of course today, Cancer. You like that? But the moon is going to be going void of course at about 6:21 p.m. and that's going to be Eastern time. And then she will be moving from Gemini into Cancer on Friday the 5th at about 12:59 in the morning. So we're looking at about a pretty lengthy one here, Cancer. We're looking at about a 30-hour and 38-minute void of course time there. And with the void of course, this is a great energy for recharging your batteries. Doing some meditation, some deep breathing, or, maybe sit in front of a campfire, whatever it is to kind of help you get Zen, Cancer, and just sort of just reset your energies and kind of cleanse all the emotions and things that we can absorb from others and things along those lines or that we might pick up. And you might notice too, Cancer, that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes during this time, and also that people may be less likely to make decisions during this time as well. So just something to pay attention to there, Cancer, considering how long this one's going to be. But then let's talk about the moon in Gemini. Actually, my moon's in Gemini. I'm about to come up on a lunar return here. Like literally, it's like first thing when she enters, I'm in like the lunar return. But with the moon being in Gemini, the moon's already active as it is, but now you're putting in Gemini, things are kind of really cranking into gear there, Cancer. You might notice that you're thinking a lot. Really great energy for communication, whether that be maybe you want to catch up with some old friends, or whether that be via phone or I don't know, Facebook or any sort of social media things. Gemini's really great with the internet too, Cancer, so just something to think about there. But this is a great energy too, very curious energy for the moon. So if you've been wanting to learn new things, Cancer, maybe you want to pick up a new language, learn a skill, or maybe even refine some existing skills that you already have, go a little deeper there. Gemini energy is great for that. But like I was saying with the moon, you couple just Gemini energy and the moon, you might notice that you're all over the place there, Cancer. So this might be good too to kind of help while you're in this energy, just maybe have like a checklist and things for, so that you can kind of keep on track there, Cancer. And then the moon is in the last quarter phase here. And this is a great energy, Cancer, for just kind of like, I feel like it's a great energy for kind of taking responsibility for all the ways that, whatever you set out for this lunar cycle, the good and the bad, Cancer. And I feel like more so with the bad stuff, or where we feel we may have let ourselves down, or maybe something didn't stick as well as we would have liked to. It's a great energy to practice compassion and forgiveness on yourself, because hey, at least the fact that you're taking this effort to try to change any sort of thing speaks volumes, Cancer. So really, this is a great energy for growth, and kind of out with the old, in with the new type of stuff. It's like we're in the releasing phases of the cycle here, Cancer. So just something to think about there with that energy. And then last few things. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. Then decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested in Cancer. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, so definitely check them out. I think you'd really enjoy them, Cancer. Let's see what your general energy of the day is. Oh, and speaking of all this thinking energy, Cancer, let's put this stuff to use here, because you got the third card of Leo's, which is the Inventor card. And with this card, this is a card of innovation, imagination, creative, gadgets, technology, groundbreaking developments, okay to fail, do it again and again, inspired ideas, setting trends, mastermind, and modern era. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, is the imagination. And I love it. I love when you get creative, Cancer. And I feel like this energy is kind of asking or kind of inviting you, Cancer, to kind of do things to kind of flex your imagination a little bit. I was actually watching a movie the other day, and they had mentioned that, like, there was someone was like looking for like a more technical way of doing something or something along those lines. They were working with this computer, and the character goes like, "Oh, please, we don't need to use this computer. You lack imagination. Let's kind of improv here." And I feel that maybe, Cancer, there's an energy. If you've been noticing that things have been, I don't know if it's, I feel like when we tap into imagination, it's something that we need to kind of push ourselves, whether this be in a creative space or just even being imaginative, even in just like your day-to-day routines, Cancer. Maybe if you notice something has become a little dull, how can we kind of spice things up? Let's say, for example, if you I don't know, say you go walking every day. That's something I do, Cancer. Maybe if you notice you go on the same type of path every day, maybe go a different route that day. Maybe you're like, oh, you know what, I always go right. Let's see where this left path is taking us. Or even, let's say at work, let's say there's, you go in, you kind of got this thing sort of clocked in. It's almost like you can like kind of check out throughout the day. It's like, what sort of exciting things can we do to kind of shake things up, to be a little more innovative, to be a little more creative? Because, creativity and imagination can go outside of the realm of just like getting into arts and things along those lines. This could be maybe even like taking a new path on your way to work, possibly maybe allotting yourself more time, kind of even shifting up the schedule a little bit. Or oh, Cancer, I mean, there's so many ways that you can play with this type of energy. But I feel like sometimes too, just like as we get older, sometimes if it's not a space that we're normally in, where you get to, I don't know, flex that kind of like or do like utilize that sort of like mental flexibility and just like using both sides of the brain there. I feel like sometimes things can become so programmed and so rigid and things like that, and you do need something to kind of add a little zest to life. I'm almost even getting like a full energy, and not even not anything extreme. Maybe it's like even something as simple as like how you put on your clothes. This is some maybe a little something random, Cancer, but I noticed that when I put on my shirts, I always start with the left arm and do it like that. But I just started like actively switching to the right arm, and it is very different, and it just gets your brain thinking like, oh, like wait, what are you doing? Like, even just like maybe even from like tying your shoes to how you put your pants, like just random things like that, Cancer. That's the kind of energy that I feel like this card is kind of inviting you here. But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. Hmm. Yeah. Interesting, Cancer. All right, so we have to gotta. All right, Cancer, hold on. Thank you. Because we got one we gotta talk about here. Oh, there she is. Alrighty, Cancer. So you have a small little reversal storm here, but that's alright. Because you have the Queen of Moons, one of our cards, the Six of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and then the Judgment card in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Swords upright. But let's talk about this Judgment card, Cancer, because I do a little pre-shuffle, right before I do these readings. And if a card happens to get flipped over or something like that, I'll keep them in mind just if they happen to pop up in the reading. And one of the cards that did pop up, Cancer, was the Judgment card in reverse. And I'm not getting anything super heavy with this card, Cancer, but I do feel, Pluto can deal with transformation. They rule with the 8th house. They rule over one of the rulers of Scorpio along the side of Mars, but I do feel like that there is, considering that the Judgment here, after the Judgment is the world, getting to that sense of completion, getting like wrapping up a cycle. But I feel like maybe for some, with the Six of Wands kind of being here, it's just like that things maybe some stuff along the lines have been a little, maybe a little arduous as of late. You know, maybe we've had a lot of challenges that have been going on. Maybe we've just been kind of feeling stuck. Maybe haven't been feeling inspired and things along those lines. And that's where I kind of feel that it's almost like with the Knight of Swords in reverse and then the Queen of Swords here, that maybe there's a need to, I almost feel like kind of slow down with the Knight of Swords, because he's very future oriented, very much about kind of go go go, get things done, very driven. But I feel like maybe that's even something to Cancer. Maybe some of us, like I was saying, lost that inspiration, just kind of lost that drive, and it just feels like that maybe there's, with the Queen of Swords, there's a need to kind of think a little bit differently. And I feel like it's those kind of small little changes at first that lead to that sort of like revelation that sort of comes with the Judgment card. It's just like these like, I don't know, Cancer, if you've been feeling kind of like stuck in a rut or things along those lines. I almost feel, because with our card, you know, with the Queen of Moons, one of our cards, you know, she's very in tune with her emotions, and very much she learns from her past experiences. That she values those experiences to kind of shape her present and to shape her future. But it just feels like that there maybe haven't been any sort of like anything that been maybe kind of like stimulating her feelings as of late, is what I'm kind of getting with her here, Cancer. And again, this doesn't have to be anything super big that we're doing in our lives, but just like little minor changes. Like again, like maybe if you have like maybe you walk your dogs a certain way, maybe changing that way up, or maybe even going, if we go to the same like coffee shop, doing something along those lines. And then it just, I feel like it just gets the brain thinking in a different type of way. It just kind of it's just like giving the brain like a jump start or something along those lines, and then that leads you to making kind of bigger changes. It's just like, oh, well, if I could do this kind of thing and then this type of thing. And it's just like you might be sipping at this new coffee shop and you see something that inspires you for work that you're going to take into, and you know, take to a boss. Or, and I hope that that makes sense, Cancer. But it just feels that it's just like maybe we haven't been just like enjoying the journey as fully as we could. It's just sort of like this kind of like the same old type of stuff. And it's yeah, just needing just a little bit more, just something extra, I feel. And just like in the, even this might even be, maybe we need to like maybe shift stuff around, maybe in our like living space, you know. I remember living with someone, and they had their bed facing one way, and they literally changed it just like a different way, and it really changed up the whole vibe of the room. How something so small can really add such a, just shift the energy in such a big type of way. And that's what I feel like is happening. It's just like maybe for some we feel like this like when maybe when I'm talking about this imagination or things, it's just like, oh, you got to do something big, you know. No, Cancer, it's just really, it's just, what are you feeling needs to change? Like, gosh, I need to get some like new clothes, or maybe I would love a new pair of shoes, or that I, you know, maybe getting a haircut, or maybe going for you know, I don't know, Cancer. Tap into that imagination. I feel like maybe just like it's just, yeah, somebody, because the Queen of Swords, she's a thinking cookie. I don't know why I call her a cookie, but she likes to, maybe you want a cookie, Cancer, but but just something to think about there, Cancer. I feel like it really does, those kind of like those minor things really can have just like really, just really big impacts. But let's get some more on this. You know, Cancer, too, this could be something that, this could be something, even just thinking with the Judgment card, maybe there's something that we're kind of holding on to, you know, that is kind of, that's keeping us from getting to this imaginative space. You know, maybe we have some stuff that's been bothering us, that's been affecting our, you know, that's been occupying our minds. Maybe there's some, I don't know, maybe we've just been, I don't know, been feeling down as of late, possibly, or maybe, I'm not sure, Cancer, but something's asking you, like, I'm getting an energy of, like, just if you've been feeling just kind of off, you know, just being maybe a little more inquisitive about that. Why are we doing maybe the things the way that we're doing? You know, maybe the body's just trying to keep you in this comfort zone here, but oh, and here's hubby. The Queen of Swords is hubby. But Cancer, you have the King of Swords here. the High Priestess, and then you have the Temperance card in reverse. And you know, Cancer, I feel like with the Temperance being here in reverse, that there is something that is just something that's just out of balance, and there's just something that's wanting you to, an energy that's like needing you to grow, like because the Temperance card is Sagittarius energy, and Sagittarius I feel like are ones that are all about like new experiences. That's one of the aspects of them. You know, they want to see the world and really see what all knowledge in things that they can learn. And considering that you got both King and Queen of Swords here, you know, it's, I feel like there's something here, and couple that again with Moon and Gemini energy. That's you know, King of Swords is Gemini for me. I don't know. There's something here that's it's like with the High Priestess seeing things from a different perspective here. But you know, the High Priestess can also be like a card of like of almost like rituals and things along those lines. You know, like, and where I feel like it's nice to have like a routine and things along those lines, Cancer. I just feel that if it's gotten to this place where, because I'm even thinking too, the art card, the Temperance card is can also be, now that I said that, in the Thoth deck is known as the art card, and in some instances it's usually like a figure that's either, you know, balancing water from side to side, or maybe mixing a couple elements there, and it's just like something's trying to cook up, Cancer. And I feel like this is like something where you need to kind of get into a more like I don't know, listening to those ideas and things, because those are like messages from higher self, you know, and really kind of. And I feel like it's just like little things, Cancer, that you've been maybe thinking about. It's just like, well, maybe I should try this, or maybe I should try that. But it's like, you know, like the moment that, and who knows, Cancer, even if, let's say you go to this coffee shop and you don't even like it or something along those lines, it gives you, even that can kind of spark something, because then it's just like, I don't seem to like this coffee. I also don't like the way, but I don't know, like, it just feels like something small can spark this like epiphany or something, is what I feel like is trying to come through here, Cancer. Let me get a little bit more, let's get some more energy on this. Thank you. All right, Cancer. So you have the Four of Stars and then the King of Stars here. Oh, and by the way, Cancer, the stars in this deck are Pentacles, and then the moons in here are Cups. And with the four, let's see with both of these cards. The energy's feeling rigid, Cancer, and I feel like that the Four of Stars here is like we're not really tapping into our reserves here. I feel like we're just, it feels kind of, because the King of Stars, where he is like an abundant, you know, kind of very generous figure. On the reverse side, he can be kind of managerial, very strict, very set in his ways, kind of rigid, and I feel like he's like, because even considering too King of Swords, King of Stars here, they're both, I feel like, very serious figures, and you know, there's just something here about just indulging in more sort of like that, again, like the emotional kind of aspect, or something like these, something intuitive, I feel, is trying to come through your thoughts or your ideas, or and I feel like if you were to just try these things, that you would, like, newer, I don't know, it's like newer facets of yourself would kind of open up, and then you just like, it's, and this might be something too, Cancer, if you've just been thinking about like wanting to maybe take some time to read more, or I don't know, just like challenge yourself in different ways, whether this be hmm yeah, do I hope that that makes sense, Cancer, because it's just like it's, yeah, something here is just like needing to, because I feel like when you start doing these things, they really start, like, I don't know, like helping you do stuff in your everyday life, you know, like, because maybe we're even having trouble seeing that, that we can do those type of things. It doesn't have to be, even if like we're doing like, let's say like for example a job that's not necessarily the funnest. We can find ways to make it more exciting, just so that it's not so monotonous or so just kind of humdrum, Cancer. But all right, Cancer, let's get a little advice from Mercury. Ah, I love it. There's Mercury. I love when you sync up with the energies, Cancer. Oh! I'm with it, Cancer. Thank you. So you have us, Cancer, the Chariot upright, and then you have the Magician in reverse here, Cancer. And then let's switch back over here. Because look at that Cancer. I love that, Cancer. I feel like there are some tools here, Cancer, that we're not tapping into, or that there's a way to, or there's like, it's like higher self, and however you connect to the source, Cancer, higher self, future self, the angels, whatever that's looking like. I feel like I feel like you just kind of reflect on your day-to-day, Cancer. And if we're just sort of like doing the same stuff kind of over and over again, or just like, I don't know, just again, haven't been feeling inspired, or whether that be in work or just like, or in life, just been wanting to, oh, Cancer, this like do, because it feels like with the Chariot, it's just like the energy wants to keep moving, but it's just like there's more tools that we need. Maybe we've been feeling kind of anxious, or this could even be, I don't know, just like there's might be just like it's like the gears, I feel like, are kind of turning or something along those lines, Cancer. But I love that you got us in our ruler here. Hey, look, you very very strong cards of us here, Cancer. And I feel like take this reflective side of this moon period here to just see if we, again, like how we do during these lunar cycles and things. Maybe that's something you might have gotten out of practice, Cancer. Maybe we haven't set any new intentions as of late or something along those lines. Because I feel like there's always something that we can be working on, Cancer. And that's not meant to be like a disheartening thing or just like more growth. But it does help, I feel, just make this journey just a little more exciting. And I don't know, just really gets to show you what you can really bring here is what I'm kind of getting with like that Magician in the Chariot kind of popping up there. But I think I'm going to leave that there, Cancer. I hope that made sense. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this thing, Cancer. If feel like, just especially since you got such real heavy thinkers there with the King and Queen of Swords and Mercury kind of popping up. There's a kind of pay attention to these ideas that might be coming through here for you, Cancer. Some cool stuff I feel like you can do. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each day. And then last little bit, check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Mercury, since that popped up. Even check your Pluto there, Cancer. Why not just get to know your chart, and then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do monthly videos, weekly videos, yearly ones. It's a good old time. Actually, we're getting a little bit closer to, well, no, that's still a little far out, but check that out, Cancer. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. Look at that. Some inspiration for you, some energy for you here, Cancer. You got the Ace of Wands here. And I like that. The Ace of Wands is, the aces are like new opportunities. They're like my seed cards, It's just like their potential, So what do you want to do next, Cancer? What is this, especially if we haven't been feeling, like, Six of Wands, or even just feeling, because I'm getting kind of like, again, with the Queen of Moon, she feels uninspired. She doesn't feel like she's been just, emotionally stimulated, or just haven't been, there's been no kind of stimulation. Just like there's just been sort of like the basic kind of stuff. And there could be just a little bit more with that, Cancer. And I feel like here's that opportunity here, to take that leap. And I'm not saying, like right now, Cancer, but just something to get just kind of thinking about here. But Let's get your Oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Starting up new stuff, Cancer. I hope you see what you get cooking up. Oh, Cancer. I dig it. So you have the 47th card, which is the Skull Cap. And this is a card of stillness in reverse. And, well, cards in reverse. And this is ruled by Pluto, Judgment card here, and Saturn. And you know, Cancer, I feel like with this, that there is this energy of, it's like we've been sitting still for a while. Or just like, again, the energies have been maybe a little still as of late. You know, there hasn't been, see the Scorpio here? Oh, Scorpio. Well, this Scorpio might be a Scorpio. Who knows? Maybe it's a Cancer. But, and see, Cancer, just like little things like that. Just something too, and that's what just something I feel like is wanting to change, you know? Like, I feel like it's just like, it almost feels like you see these little hourglasses here. So it's like the time has just stopped a little bit. And I feel like there's a need to kind of like, you know, kind of get Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands even, to just sort of get the energy moving and get things just, And I'm even kind of looking with how this mask is kind of separated here, Cancer. It almost feels like that there has been this sort of like disconnect maybe with like the left and the right brain. And I feel like it's like, you know, if we can tap into one and get those two energies, just kind of get the mind, you know, because that's one thing with Mercury, deals with our mind and how we think in things. And I feel like if we can get those two kind of on the same page, you know, then what you can manifest would be just spectacular, Cancer. Whether this is opportunities or maybe different art ideas or maybe things for work or whatever that's looking like. But all right, Cancer, I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there. Your innovative ideas and your imagination, get stuff cooking up there, Cancer. Get things moving. The chariot always keeping it moving, so why not, Cancer? Let's keep that energy going. You keep eyes on the moon, because I mean, the moon's always doing stuff. You know, she's different signs, different phases. You know, we got, I don't know, Cancer, a lot we can work with here. Oh, and just by the way, Cancer, you really are syncing up with the energies in a way. I hadn't paid attention to that on that third quarter card that's associated with the Judgment card. You got the Judgment card here, Cancer. Something to think about, but not sure why I winked at you. We're moving on. You stay safe out there. We kept eyes on the moon. We keep eyes on the moon. Cancer, not keep eyes on her again. I was actually walking with her the other day. She's a lovely little person to walk with. A person, planet. I'll catch you, Cancer, on the next one tomorrow.